Hey guys, today I'm doing a ranking video of season 2024. That's the first Shutty Gatwa season. So this won't be reviews, I've already done mini reviews of the season. I did it in two parts. I did episodes 1 to 4 and then episodes 5 to 8. So if you haven't seen them, check them out for my views on each individual episode. So this will just be a ranking video and my final thoughts afterwards, what I thought overall of the season. And what I'll be doing in this video is I'll be classing the Christmas special. I'll be putting that in the rankings as well. And I'll also be classing the last two episodes as one story because it's a two-parter. So I like to class two-parters as one story. In 8th place, Space Babies. I thought that was awful. So that's in last place. In 7th place, I've got the Christmas special, The Church on Ruby Road. Once again, I thought it was awful. In 6th place, I've got the two-parter, The Legend of Ruby Sunday and Empire of Death. So I'm classing that as one story. I actually thought the first part was better than the second part. But overall, it really disappointing. I'll have lots to say about that in my final thoughts later. In 5th place, I've got Rogue. Even though it's come 5th in the rankings, I still didn't like it. In 4th place, I've got The Devil's Cord. Once again, I didn't like it, but it's higher than the others because of it's just so bloody weird. Although it didn't really get properly explained why it was so weird. Or the dance number, that wasn't explained. There was a weird dance number at the end of the episode. Finally, in 3rd place, and this is when it started to get good, there was a run of 3 stories in a row which I really liked. All the rest I thought was rubbish. So in 3rd place I've got Boom. And this was the return of Stephen Moffat. He wrote a great story actually. In 2nd place, and these 2 stories don't feature the Doctor much. So in 2nd place I've got Dot in the Bubble. I thought that was an underrated gem. I thought I was really impressed by it. And of course in 1st place I've got 73 Yards. Once again, the Doctor doesn't appear much in it. It's mostly Millie Gibson and she gives a standout performance. A real classic, this one. But overall, that's only 3 stories that I liked. All the rest I hated. So it's actually a poor season. It's ups and downs. The good things that I liked about the season first. I thought Millie Gibson's a great companion. She was especially good in 73 Yards. Where it was basically just focused on her all through the story because Shutty Gatwa was filming something else and he was unavailable. They could only film him in a few scenes. Another good thing about this season is there was a run of 3 stories back to back. Boom, 73 Yards and Dot in the Bubble. And oddly enough, the Doctor doesn't appear much in 2 of the 3. And that kind of proves how bad Shutty Gatwa is. Now on to the things I don't like about the season. Shutty Gatwa. For me, all the hype about him having range. He doesn't. He's a one-trick pony. He's only good at being super gear and camp. So if you get like a humorous story, he's okay, I suppose. But when you get to dramatic stuff, he's useless. He's not heroic. When you compare him to doctors like Tom Baker and John Pertwee, brilliant doctors. He pales in comparison to them two. He's definitely one of the worst, him and Jodie Whittaker. And you get all the hype from Russell T Davies saying he's a great actor. Well, I didn't say much of that this season. And another thing, Russell T Davies, he's been bloody awful. He's obsessed with diversity over art. He'd rather spoil stories just to focus on his own agenda. He's wanting to promote the LGBTQ and other minority groups. He'd rather do that instead of telling a good sci-fi story. It's ridiculous. There's other TV shows that can focus on that. Why use Doctor Who for it? And the final two-part is disgraceful, bringing back the great character of Sutek from Pyramids of Mars. He's supposed to be this super powerful being. And what does the Doctor do? He gets this, I don't know what it was, a magical dog lead, puts it around his neck, drags him off into this time vortex and kills him, or whatever he does to him. And somehow everyone who he's killed come back to life. Bloody ridiculous. Russell T Davies should be ashamed of himself. That's the most ridiculous conclusion to a story ever. And he seems to have a problem with these two-parters that end seasons. He makes them epic and everything happens. Everyone dies, the universe is about to get destroyed. And the last 5 minutes everything gets resolved. Bloody ridiculous. It's like he writes himself into a hole and he doesn't know how to get out of it. So he quickly figures out some daft reset button type of plot, where right at the end something shite happens and everything gets resolved. It's a mark of a bad writer, that. And when stories don't make sense, that's also a mark of a bad writer. You shouldn't have to wonder and try to explain things all the time. There should be proper explanations, and he just can't do it. He's shit. And he's obsessed with promoting the LGBTQ, and it almost feels as though I'm not a part of the party, that I'm kind of left out as a viewer. There's not much to relate to when most of the characters are gay. So a lot of old Doctor Who fans, they're kind of switching off because they're sick of getting it pushed into the face all the time, all these agendas. Speaking of which, Disney considering pulling the plug. They've already done another season, so that's fair enough. But after that, because of the lousy viewing figures, the rumour is that they're considering just pulling the plug and not bothering. Because it's supposed to have done shit in America as well. It hasn't made the charts there. Also, the BBC have refused this time to give out the audience appreciation figures, which they always have done. So the reason they haven't this year is obviously they're that low. So the show's never been as bad as this. And I kind of hope Disney don't make any more, finance it. It's like watching a pet that's broke a leg and dying, like a horse that's broke a leg, and you just want it to be put out of its misery. That's how I feel about this show. It used to be my favourite all-time show, and now it's dreadful. Lousy writing, terrible acting, and obsessed with agendas. And I just can't watch the new show anymore. I don't think I'll be reviewing any more new Doctor Who now, not after this. Terrible. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe and share. Bye everybody, bye. Bye.